following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Shouldn't be in the way.
Now, tell me, what do you think about the role of the father? But I mean, what do you feel is his essential human quality?
He cares.
He cares, right. Now, that means we have to find somebody who projects a lot more sensitivity than the men we've been talking about.
Lucas Holden.
Hey, Lucas Holden. Hello, Nino. Bracken?
Hello, Nino.
Right.
That's him, huh?
Bracken, all right. What'd you expect?
You? What's a big boss type look like, I said to myself. Then I thought of a guy who looks just like you.
Mr. Bracken, these are two very enterprising and very serious businessmen. What's your name, son?
Frederick Douglass Webster, Jr.
I'm Curtis. I'm his brother.
Half-brother.
Well, half is still a brother.
John, I'll go in and phone Lucas Holden's agent, see if he's available.
Good. Frederick Douglass Webster, huh?
Don't forget the junior.
Oh, man, don't forget the junior. Mister, we live in the same house. We got the same mother. Now, what does that sound like to you?
Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Are you two going to be sticking around for a while?
Yeah, you want us to get into that other car?
All right, go ahead. Just so long as you stick around, all right?
Look, I didn't say I was going to work the whole day. This is Saturday, man. I got to have a little time to myself.
Look, Curtis, when I say you work, you hear?
Hey, now, listen. No fights here. Forget the car. Just so long as you stick around.
Hey, mister, you ain't got more sense than to listen to a kid. I'm trying to teach him responsibility. You little baby, get over there and work.
John, Lucas Holden is available, and he'll be in to see you at 9 o'clock Monday morning.
Good.
And I think after you've met with him, we really should sit down and tackle the problem of casting the son.
The sun, huh? Freddie, what do you think of people who act in the movies?
Well, Sidney Poitier's a beautiful cat.
I tell you what I'm going to do. Now, first I'm going to talk with you, Freddie. Then I'm going to talk to your parents. Then I'm going to put you in front of a camera and make a test and find out if you're the young man I'm looking for to act in the television series I'm going to do. Now, what do you say to that?
Well, it sure beats school.
Oh, no. Well, if you get the job, you have to go to classes on the set.
Oh, probably a lot of bread.
Probably.
Let's talk.
Come on, Curtis.
In the world, there are many worlds. We all have our own wishing penny worlds.
Oh, you did you? He's an actor, all right.
Mrs. Bishop, what did you think of this young man here?
Well, I didn't realize the series would be so honest. I mean, kids do get crushes on their teachers, don't they? White or black.
They certainly do. Freddie, I think that Mr. Bracken wants to talk to your parents. And we're due back on the set. You're a working actor now.
Okay. Bye, Mom. Bye.
I've heard Mr. Grant's name. He's a fine director, isn't he?
Outstanding. He's worked very hard with Freddie.
It shows.
We appreciate your letting us see those, what do you call them, dailies?
Yes, dailies. I think Freddie is just right. But you know, a child actor is a very special breed, and he has to be treated in a very special way. Now, right now, Freddie has a very natural, warm quality. In the next couple of weeks, though, he's going to get a great deal of attention. Opening guns of a big publicity campaign, the whole arsenal of a major motion picture studio, and the press. And they're going to be asking him what it feels like to win over hundreds of youngsters who read for the part and dozens who tested for it. And gradually the size of his victory is going to come home to him. And he could quite easily succumb to all of that attention. And then instead of seeing an innocent, appealing young boy on the screen, we could start to see a very sophisticated young man, which would be wrong for the series. And it could possibly be harmful for Freddie. So we'll have to keep our eyes open for that, won't we?
We understand.
Mr. Bishop and I are strong parents. At least we think we are. And we don't intend to let Freddie change any of his home life. His friends are the same. The things he does in his free time are the same.
Fine. Oh, I've taken the liberty of making an appointment for you with Mr. Gross of our legal department. You can talk over how to handle Freddie's salary and things like that with him.
Oh, we're already into that, Mr. Bracken. The California Supreme Court wants 25% of a minor actor's salary to go into U.S. bonds, and we've made arrangements. Most of the remainder will be put into a trust for Freddie's college education.
Well, I had nothing to worry about, did I?
None at all. Ours is in order, Mr. Bracken.
Good. Shall we go? They've got the word on both of you know. Good field, no hit.
Not me. I got a terrific guy. I stand in at the plate for him, too.
Mr. Bracken?
Oh, hello, Barry.
Johnson, we're about ready for the second team. You better get made up.
You better give him a few hot grounders, Mr. Bracken.
All right, brace yourself, Freddie.
You know who taught me how to play baseball?
Who?
My dad. My real dad. That guy you met in the projection room isn't my real dad.
Yes, I know.
He's a nice guy, but he's not Frederick Douglass Webster Sr. To tell you the truth, I never know what to call him. I mean, I can't call him Dad.
What's his first name?
Ben, for Benjamin.
Well, why don't you go talk with him and maybe he'll let you call him Ben. Got to call him something. He play catch with you?
Well, he wants to.
You like to work here, Freddie?
Yeah. I like to work around here. It's fun.
Well, if it ever stops being fun, you come to me in my office, okay?
Okay. Hey, you want in on a secret?
Sure, you bet.
My real father's coming down tomorrow. I sent him a letter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's his birthday. I got my first paycheck. I'm going to buy him a canoe.
Well, that's a very nice thing to do. Does he go fishing?
You bet he does. He lives in this little dinky town up north. He's a fry cook in the cafe. He gets all hot and sweaty, and the smoke gets all up in his lungs. He told me once how great it would be if we had a canoe. We would go fishing, and it would be just me and him. And we'd glide along and catch us some fish.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Would you like us to meet him at the airport? Maybe arrange for a small birthday party here for him.
Hey, would you take some pictures?
Well, I think my publicity department would be very upset if I didn't have them take pictures.
Hey, Mr. Bracken, would you throw it to my left? I want to scoop it up like Brooks Robbins.
Hey! Out at first.
All right.
All right, first team, please.
Rachel, Freddie, we'll run through it one time for the camera. Rachel, let's start with your line. I'm disappointed in you, okay? You ready? All right, set up for the rehearsal, please. And go, Rachel.
I'm disappointed in you.
How come?
Because you're operating on about 2 cylinders. And that little engine inside your head has a total of about 8. You're just chugging along, Willie.
I'm doing the best I can.
No, you're not. You're trying to get poor grades so that you can stay after school and get some extra help that you don't need, so that you can go home and tell your folks that you're not doing well in school, so they'll be hurt. Now, that's what this is all about, isn't it?
That's crazy, Miss Perkins. Why would I want to do a thing like that?
Cut it. Take a break for a few minutes, Rachel, Freddie. We've got a technical problem with the camera.
Nothing's wrong with the camera. See, it isn't working, is it?
True. It's Freddie. Maybe a few minutes away from the set, we'll loosen him up. I'll call you when we're ready.
Freddie's a little tense.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm glad Mr. Grant called a recess.
It's a strain for any of us, especially a child. Mrs. Bishop, you know, most of my scenes in these first few episodes are with Freddie. I mean, I'm really fond of him. He's a beautiful kid.
Thank you.
What I'm trying to say is there must be some things that I can say to him, personal things, funny things that happen at home. Things I can tell him to relax him.
So you can come off good.
And what's wrong with that? This is a new kind of role for me, and I want to be right in it.
Well, you talked to him about his father, his real father. Watch his eyes light up.
His real father?
It's not Mr. Bishop. His real father's a bum he happens to love. And now, with his 14th birthday coming up, when he can choose who he wants to live with, he's going through all kinds of agony, trying not to hurt me, trying not to hurt Mr. Bishop, but wanting to make the break. So, Miss Holt, you talk to him about his real father. You'll reach him in a second, and you'll have a real actor to play your scenes with, and you'll come off just fine.
Well, that's just what I want, to come off just fine. And naturally, I don't care about the wreckage along the way.
Oh, Miss Holt, forgive me, but I'm Freddie's mother. And I sit here day after day watching my son work, knowing he's good, knowing he can have a different, better future. But also knowing the most destructive man in the world is going to come back into his life. Some way, somehow, they're going to get back together again, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's like shouting at the waves and telling them to stop. And when they do get back together again, you're going to see one insignificant black family torn apart. Torn apart.
Mr. Hartford. The studio was built in the 20s.
A long time ago.
Well, I can't begin to tell you the history. Hundreds of famous stars, producers, directors.
Where's my son worked?
Well, we'll get there in a few minutes. But first, we're going to stop in on John Bracken.
Ah, it's terrific. Who is that?
He's just president of the corporation now. In charge of production worldwide.
I can't wait.
Well, we found your boy prisoner.
Good. Come in, Artie.
Mr. Bracken, Meet Frederick Douglass Webster, Sr.
Hello, Mr. Webster.
Mr. Bracken.
Come on in. I understand it's your birthday.
Yeah, I'm a birthday boy.
Well, congratulations.
Right.
Sit down here, will you? Artie, sit down there.
Mr. Webster told me he had a fine trip down on the plane.
Good, good. I guess this must be quite a shock to you to all of a sudden have a son who's playing a lead in a television series.
He's a smart kid.
Oh, yes, he is. I asked Artie to bring you here first before you went down to the stage because I want to tell you that we've arranged a small birthday celebration for you. And the publicity people will be taking pictures of you and the boy. That is, of course, if you don't mind. Well, we found that the public is very interested in a youngster who suddenly pulled out of an average life and thrust in front of the camera. And very interested in the people around him, of course, as his father. That definitely includes you.
Why him?
What?
Why'd you pick Freddie?
Well, he tested so well. His natural charm came through.
Must have been a million other little black boys out there who could smile good.
Well, there were other qualities that we were looking for. Charm was just one of them.
You know, I figured you'd ask the boy's parents' permission.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. I asked Mr. and Mrs. Bishop. After all, your son does make his home with them.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky you didn't ask me. Well, let's drink to it.
All right, fine.
Mr. Bracken, I think it's a good idea if Mr. Webster had a chance to see Freddie on film. It might reassure him.
I'll make the arrangements.
Oh, just remembered something. Freddie hates the smell of booze.
Artie, why don't you take Mr. Webster down to the stage now?
Yes, sir.
And I'll get that film set up for you.
Okay, Bracken.
Mr. Webster? I'm glad you're here.
Right.
I think in the beginning of the scene that it's pretty much the same attitude that you've had up to this point in the movie.
Did you ever think your son would be mixed up in something like this? I mean, lights and camera and people.
Right.
What do we got here? Movie star?
Hey, Dad, how you been?
You're growing.
I'll never be as big as you. Hey, you guys. This is my real dad.
Hey, Kevin, Mr. Webster, I want you to meet Kevin Grant, the director.
Mr. Webster, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You must be very proud of this young man.
Yes. Am I holding something up?
No, not at all. In fact, if you can stick around, we're about to shoot a scene in a couple of minutes. You can watch the star at work.
Yeah, thanks.
Excuse me.
Hey, Lucas. Lucas plays my dad in the series.
Hey, man.
Mr. Webster, your son's been giving me some pretty good tips on how to play a good father.
My son's a big put-on.
He's a fine fellow.
First team, please.
Pardon me, please.
Hey, Dad, it's your birthday.
Sure is.
And I got a present for you for later. And you're gonna flip out when you see it.
Okay.
So you're Freddie's real father. Don't look at me like that. I'm 4'2". With these special shoes, 4'7". But I've got as much soul as you have.
Right on.
I'm your son stand-in, Harry Johnson.
Nice to meet you.
Sit down and watch your kid do his stuff.
Here you go, Mr. Webster.
Artie, I'd like to discuss my publicity. Come on over here.
May?
Frederick?
Frederick? Never could say Freddie, could you? Where's Benny?
Working.
Well, not everybody can do that.
Most everybody who wants to can do it.
I'm a fry cook now.
Why did you come?
I was invited.
By who?
By my son.
But it was wrong of you to come, just when the boy is getting over his confusion. When you leaving?
That is not the most hospitable thing that I've heard here today.
When are you leaving?
You see the way that boy greeted me? Why would I want to leave?
I took the first step when I got rid of you, Frederick. The second step was marrying Mr. Benjamin Bishop. The third step was Freddie getting this job. One step at a time. One step upward at a time. That's the direction for the Bishop family. And no fry cook is gonna stop us. Clear?
All right, we're ready for a take. Let's settle down, please.
Mr. Webster. Mr. Webster.
That little 4'2" at 4'7" with the special heels on it. He called you on the phone, didn't he?
That's not important. What is important is the press.
What's important is my son, who's going up, up, up. In case you didn't know it, Charlie.
Mr. Webster, the press is due here in a couple of hours now, so why don't you come on back to my office and that's it. Get up there. And well, there's a shower there.
Hey, I'm clean.
Please, Mr. Webster.
What would happen if I just sat here like this until the reporters came, huh?
Then your son would be hurt.
Why'd you do it?
Do what?
Put him in the movies?
I think your son is enjoying the work.
What difference does that make? You know what you did, Charlie? You made that little kid a man. And you made me a little kid. That's right. You turn us around. He's a big shot now. And I'm the big nothing, huh? Why did you leave us alone? We were happy, the two of us. I was the one that he could look up to. And he was the one I could think about and pretend I was taking care of him and talk about him at the cafe. You mix this all up. Man! I hate you. I hate the way you just reached out and made us do what you want.
Now put the bottle down, Mr. Webster.
Anything you say. Mr. Charlie?
Put the bottle down. Get you cleaned up. We'll get the place cleaned up. We both have obligations to Freddie Jr., you know.
Don't talk to me about no obligations. You killed the father and his son. And you ain't gonna get away with it.
Now put the bottle down, Mr. Webster. Think about what you're doing. Think about your son. Put the bottle down. Now you listen to me. Your boy's got a chance here. He's got a chance to be a man. He had the same opportunity with you.
Frederick Douglass Webster, Jr. is supposed to be a little kid who needs Frederick Douglass Webster, Sr. Supposed to be.
Okay, bring him out.
Care what happened to my son. Did you hear that? I care what happened. That's why I'm here.
Please, get in the car.
I'm his father. And no amount of Hollywood press is gonna change that.
Please, Mr. Webster, get in the car. Take her to my office. I'll meet you there.
He can cause a lot of pain, that man. Freddie. Freddie, they're teaching you to be an actor, so you show what you've been learning. You go to that party and don't you let on a thing, you hear me? Freddie, do you hear me talking to you? Honey, you don't want to grow up to be like him, do you? Well, then you do what Mr. Bracken expects of you. These people are giving you a big chance. Freddie. Freddie? You hear your mama talking to you? Hmm?
Freddie, you and your stand-in are different heights, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm 4'7". Mr. Johnson is 4'2". But they build him up a little bit, and it works.
Freddie, does it bother you that your stand-in is white?
No, they explained that to me. They said there are very few black midgets who have the experience to be stand-ins.
Well, I thought the purpose of a stand-in was to bear some physical resemblance to the actor.
No, they only have to be the same size for setting the camera. And for lighting, they put a dark makeup on Mr. Johnson.
Freddie, all of a sudden you're doing the lead role in a television series. How's it changed your life?
Well, people never used to ask me a lot of questions.
You still hang out with the same kids?
Most of them.
What about the rest of them?
Well, they think I wouldn't want to talk to them anymore.
Well?
They got it all wrong.
Freddie, is this series true to life?
You mean black people?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it true to your life?
Mister, I never live like I live in the movies, if that's what you mean.
Freddie, I'd like to ask your director, Kevin Grant, a few questions about how he works with you and how he thinks you're doing.
He thinks I'm doing great.
Was he going to be here?
I don't think so. He's shooting some night shots off the lot with Rachel Holt. She plays my teacher. So you just have to take my word for it that I'm coming along just fine.
Freddie, what will you do if the series fails?
I'll give me a job washing cars.
Spot!
Happy birthday, Mr. Webster.
Thanks a lot.
Mr. Webster, how about a picture over here?
Lead the way, lady.
We'd all like some shots of father and son together.
Well, I'm for that. Get me a couple of copies.
Yes, of course, and then we'll get some pictures of the rest of the family.
You mean Freddie's mother and Ben Bishop?
Yes.
Hey, Dan, I got a present for you. Come on. Happy birthday, Dad.
I wanted a canoe to go fishing for a long, long time. Never thought I'd have me one, though.
Cheated a little, Freddie. Come on, look at your father, but be sure we can see your face, too.
You're gonna be on the set with me every day, aren't you, Dad?
Well, no, I'm taking off.
What?
Give him a big hug, Mr. Webster.
I said I'm taking off. I'm getting out of here. I'm going back home. Don't worry about it.
Big smile, Freddie.
Come on, Freddie. It's your dad. It's his birthday. Give us a nice big smile.
Think that's your father's plan?
Now, how would I know?
Then how come you're looking?
Curtis, I already told you to shut up and go to sleep.
You haven't told me a thing about the party.
It was nice.
Fact is, you never tell me anything. Kids ask me, you got you a brother who's supposed to be in the movies. Well, what's it like? How am I supposed to answer them?
Now, Curtis, I already told you that, too. Some of it's fun. Like playing catch with Johnson. We ain't gonna do that anymore.
How come?
Curtis, you want to get bucked. Now you just get back in that bed and you be still.
Ready? Pa! Freddie's gone! Pa! Freddie's gone! Freddie's gone!
It was Freddie, Mr. Bracken. I showed people his picture.
I've been going over Kevin's work schedule here for the week.
Which is filled, Artie, end to end, with scenes involving Freddie.
Listen, 207 is a milk run. It makes 3 local stops between here and Sacramento. With a little luck, and I agree we can use it, we can intercept Freddie when he gets off the plane. But if we don't, it's still a 20-mile bus ride to where his father lives. I'm sure we can contact the bus company. As a matter of fact, I can go up there and bring Freddie back myself.
No, I don't want him brought back. By that I mean I don't want him dragged back. Artie, you come into the studio.
Right.
Got to play this carefully.
True. But if we don't get Freddie back, we're going to have to scrap every foot of film and recast. And nobody has that kind of money anymore, John. And need I remind you that I agreed to get this series started and direct the first 3 episodes, but then I must get back to work on my pre-production schedule for my next feature.
Yes, I'm aware of that. But if we force him back, then what will you have in the set? He'll be bitter, resentful, won't take direction, I'm sure, and have neither the desire nor the energy to do a good job. We've got to find some way to get him back here under his own steam. Kevin, you check with production, see if you can reschedule. Shoot around him, at least for a couple of days.
Okay. I don't see what is going to gain us except for a little bit of time.
Freddie has got 2 parents, Kevin. At least one of them is on our side.
What do you want me to do?
Go after him.
For you?
Yes. And perhaps.
For me, too? Seems like I spent half my life running after Freddie's father. This is highfalutin.
What?
That was one of the names he had for me, that man, that nothing man, Freddie's father. At least one of the few names he had for me that I can repeat to you. Mrs. Highfalutin. Because I wanted my house to be nice. Because I wanted my husband to be nice. Because I hated the smell of last night's cheap gin each morning. And I do mean each morning. Even the morning my first baby was born. And I was agreeing to call him Frederick Jr., knowing already I wouldn't lead a life with my child growing up with that smell. You want something?
No, thank you.
Coffee, at least.
No, thank you.
Freddie. That's what he'll wake up to. Tomorrow up there with him. The stale gin, the stale everything.
Yes, sit down, Mrs. Bishop. Now, that won't happen if you bring him back.
No, he has a head of his own, Mr. Bracken. I mean, he's just a little boy, but already he's bigger than his father. He's more important. Maybe that's tough on the father, but the boy should be bigger. That's what I fought for, prayed for, scratched for. Oh, the coffee.
No, really. I don't want anything, thank you.
He'd be laughing now. Offering the big studio boss coffee. Offering the man coffee, he'd say, making it sound so nasty. No, Freddie ran away from me and Ben and Curtis to be with him. After he saw the way he was with you yesterday.
He saw?
Yes, we both saw. So let him stay there. Junior and senior together. Maybe that's the way it's got to be.
Wait for me. Mr. Webster.
My son sent me a telegram saying that he was coming. I was wondering who'd show up first, you or him?
I've come up here hoping to persuade you to send him back.
I ain't got any influence over him. If Freddie Jr. shows up around that corner right now, it's just because he wants to be with me.
I don't understand you. Why do you want to prevent your own son from accomplishing something?
You better back off. You got yourself a private plane or something? You better get back to it.
Now, this is a chance. And you know it's a chance, a big chance. You know why I think your son is coming up here? Because he saw your pain yesterday, and he feels that he has got something to do with it. He saw us when we came out of the stage before the party. He saw you under escort by the studio guards. He saw you boozed up. He saw you shouting your anger at the world.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. He was with his mother. They both saw it.
You're trespassing.
Mr. Webster, when is your boy going to be 14?
Next year.
Then next year he has the choice of legally deciding between you and the bishops.
That's what they tell me.
Then please, I beg you, let him decide what to do at that time. Give him time. Take time yourself. Give him a chance to choose about his work at Century Pictures. You and the bishops will be around for a long time for him to choose from, but this opportunity won't be. Now, what do you say, Mr. Webster?
You had a better idea when you started to get back to that cab. So why don't you just fly on home and get yourself another little black boy to do your tap dancing for you? Nobody know the difference. We all got rhythm, you know.
It's a big decision to make about somebody's life, even your own boy's. I just hope that he'll agree with you 2 or 3 years from now.
You know, Freddie's mother used to jaw at me all the time about a man's home is his castle. And if that's true, you are invading my castle.
Mr. Webster, I know you love your boy. I just hope you love him enough to send him back.
Big traveling man.
Hey, this is a great street. We could play catch around here all the time, huh?
Sure can.
Does it snow around here?
Well, not very often, just once in a while.
Well, I've always wanted to live in a place where it snows. You know, that L.A. can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Sun all the time. Hey, this is great.
Yeah, it's a place to live.
Well, that's all we need.
Yeah.
This is really nice. Hey, does this thing work?
Yeah, sometimes it does.
Hey, Dad, what are your hours?
I'm on a split shift. I work from 5 to 9 in the morning, then from 12 noon till 3 in the afternoon. And then I usually come back here and sack out just like you're doing.
Now you can go fishing with me in a big old canoe. You know, Dad, they're going to send it up here. How about that? What we can do is let me sleep till 6. After all, I am a kid. You know, I do need my hours. Then I'll wash up, get my school stuff, then come on down to the diner. Then you can fix me a huge breakfast. Man, this is really going to be so... Hey, I got a better idea.
What's that?
I'm going to do just like you. I'm going to get up in the morning when you get up. And then I'll kid around while you're getting shaved and dressed. And then when you take off, I'll just go right back to sleep. Then I'll see you at the diner at around 6:30. And if you feel like taking a nap when you get home at 3, I'll take one with you. It's whatever you want to do. I'll be right behind you, senior and junior.
You know that's what I wanted to hear you say. That's all I wanted to hear you say.
Hey, Dad, what are you doing?
I'm getting us started right, though, on doing all them things we just talking about.
But I want to stay here.
And you will. But you gave your word. Right? You made a deal down there. And you gotta live up to what you promised so we can start off clean. See, then when you're down there finishing that up, I'll be up here getting this place all squared away, getting everything all fixed up for you.
But I want to live with you now.
Sometimes you gotta wait. You know, set things up right.
Dad, do you really want me here?
You know it. You just came a little too soon. That's all.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. You know your daddy loves you.
Yes.
Freddie Webster to see you.
Oh, send him in.
Hi, Mr. Brackett.
Oh, hello, Freddie. Sit down.
My mom just got the next script.
Did she like it?
Yeah, she was just going over it with me like she always does.
Go on.
Well, now this is my idea, not hers, so you only have me to blame. Well, there's this part for this kid who passes me in the school corridor. He only has one line.
And you would like your little brother Curtis to do that line, huh?
Right.
All right, I'll tell you what you do. You go talk with your director, Mr. Grant, and you ask him. Now, mind you, Freddie, I said ask him if he won't read Curtis for that part.
That's great, Mr. Brackett.
You know something? This is really a historic moment. It's the first time I've been hustled by a 14-year-old boy.
13.
Oh, all right.
We are waiting in our tiny world for a glimpse of love's bright and shiny world. Untouched, unknown, with pennies thrown. Once you see that your little world's made to share, someone walks in with worlds to spare.